I met David Keefe when I was a waiter at Johnny's Luncheonette. He was a regular, and he looked like the Incredible Hulk. He came in every day and ordered the same thing for breakfast, a 5-egg white omelet with tomatoes instead of toast, and definitely not potatoes. At first, my only goal was to get him his weird breakfast as quickly as possible.
Gabe was an interesting character. He was missing his front tooth, and he had long dreadlocks, and he seemed a bit undernourished as well. But he was a good waiter. He helped me get my breakfast quickly and correctly.
So, despite our differences, we quickly became friends. But since he was a businessman and I was a 23-year-old art student, it's safe to say I wanted some advice. We got together and he taught me about being a responsible adult, how to do a resume, to get a job, and he suggested I get a new front tooth too, which I did. None of it surprised me that much, but the one thing that did surprise me is he wanted to do gratitude lists together.
It didn't surprise me. Gabe complained a lot. He was always talking about this problem or that problem, but all I saw was a world of opportunity for him. But as I listened, I found that I was doing some of the same things in my life. If I had a problem in business, I would stay focused on that for too long. If I had a problem at home or with my family, I might obsess about that instead of all the wonderful things that were going on in my life. I thought a daily gratitude list could benefit us both.
So we started. The way our gratitude lists work is simple. We write down 10 things we're grateful for every day, and we email it to each other. We started in 2007, and we still do it today. Back then, mostly we used computers. It's so easy now with an iPhone that there's no excuse for not doing it ever.
Doing it together makes us accountable. Doing it every day makes it a habit. Typing 10 things I'm grateful for takes less than 2 minutes. It's one of the first things I do when I wake up, and it sets the course for my entire day.
And there's a science to gratitude. Dr. Robert Emmons is a leading professor in the field, and he also works at UC Davis, where he has a PhD. He did an experiment where he broke people down into 3 groups and had them each keep daily lists. The first group made a list of things that happened to them that day that were a hassle. The second group made a list of neutral life events. And the third group made a list of things they were grateful for.
People who kept gratitude journals on a weekly basis exercised more often, felt better about themselves as a whole, recorded fewer physical problems, and were much more optimistic about the coming week compared to those who recorded hassles or neutral life events.
And people who kept gratitude lists also reported greater gains in the realm of personal goal attainment, specifically related to interpersonal relationships, their physical health, their careers, and their academic life.
Gabe and I have been writing and sharing gratitude lists for over 10 years. That's 2,700 lists between us. I've told Gabe 13,000 things I'm grateful for. He's told me 13,000 things he's grateful for. Here's how the gratitude lists have changed our lives.
So the first way the gratitude lists have changed my life is it gave me an intimate friendship with another man. And for 2 dudes, that's incredible. There's 3,000 miles between us, and we've seen each other in person 7 times in the last 10 years. Yet we're closer than ever. We know everything about each other because in these lists, we hold nothing back. A year ago, he was a groomsman at my wedding. And I wrote to him 2 days later that I was grateful that he had experienced my life in person. His response was that because of these lists, he was grateful that he felt like he knew every detail already.
The gratitude list has allowed me to be more present, to be more in the moment. It helps me to appreciate things in life that I might not otherwise. I often write about nature, specifically birds, trees, green grass, a blue sky, or a beautiful view.
Another thing that the gratitude lists do for me is they force me to recognize when something good happens to me. Because I'm an ambitious perfectionist. So a lot of the time when I reach a major milestone in life, I'll actually critique it. Or I'll just blow right past it, moving on to the next goal. In 2010, I wrote a script that would become a national TV commercial. And at that time, I wrote to David that I was grateful for the best 2 days of my life, which was progress.
The gratitude list can work for both positive and negative life events, even the worst situations. On July 17th, 2014, my mother died. Here's the list I wrote that day. I'm grateful for my mother, her life, her family. I'm grateful for her unconditional love, her strength and sacrifice. I'm grateful she retired at the age of 58 and that she traveled a lot. I'm grateful she lived 71 years, that she was our friend and involved in all of our lives. The gratitude list forced me to experience that day differently, at least for the moment, to use that moment to celebrate her life and to share my pain immediately, because the list is just what we did, no matter what.
So we hope it's as clear to you as it is to us that gratitude changes lives. It's changed our lives, and it continues to this day. It's made us more humble, more connected, more present, and more positive. And more than anything, it's made us feel like we can be a part of the solution rather than part of the problem in any of life's situations.
We challenge you to try this practice. We challenge you to try it with someone else, not alone. Maybe it's someone you're close to or someone you'd like to get to know better. We think it can change your life, and it should help you be more grateful for things that you might otherwise take for granted, like breathing.
Or grateful for annoying things, like public transportation.
Or things that help build character, like getting your ass kicked in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Or grateful for random things, like sweatpants.
Or things that not everyone has, like clean drinking water.
Or simple things, like your sense of smell.
Because we'll think you'll recognize what all of life's little gifts are, like we do, when you look at life through a lens of gratitude.
Thank you.